On April 28, 1988, at exactly 1:25, the 119-year-old aircraft, Boeing 737, which was the property of the airlines, took off from Hello International Airport. The Boeing 737 aircraft had already flown 3 times that day. First of all, this aircraft reached Hello from Honolulu. From there and again the sky was very clear that day and it did not look like anything bad was going to happen very soon. Once again, welcome to Global Facts Videos. Plane Captain Robert Sung, whose Boeing 737 aircraft had the experience of flying the plane for 6,700 hours. Apart from the pilots in any plane, there are many other people who play an important role in flying the plane. One of them was Madeline Tompkins, the first officer of the plane. 136-year-old girl who had 3,500 hours of flight experience in this aircraft. On the morning of the 25th of April, the first officer of that slide was doing the necessary pre-flight inspection of the plane at the airport, and after the inspection, the plane was ready to take off. One morning at 11 o'clock, the aircraft left for Honolulu Airport, and from there the plane was about to go towards the people. So when the aircraft reached its destination, the pilots present on the plane did not consider it necessary to go out and inspect the plane. Actually, every time after completing a flight, routine checkup is done in the planes so that there is no damage or technical fault in the plane. Although it is not absolutely compulsory, and that is why the pilots of the plane thought it right to skip this tape, then at 1:25 the plane was ready to fly again, in which there were 89 passengers, 3 flight attendants and 2 pilots. Shortly after takeoff, the plane was flying 24,000 feet above the ground. But exactly at 1:48 an accident happened which no one had even thought about. Everyone present in the train was then getting to hear a strange sound as if wind was blowing very fast through a hole. On seeing this, the roof of the lift power of the aircraft broke apart from the plane, due to which the air outside and inside the plane was pressurized. And earlier, the small part of the roof that was broken, the same thing became about 19 feet long by breaking. All this was long from the cockpit of the plane to the 4G area. You can imagine how dangerous it was for that plane. At first the pilots did not understand what actually happened, because the damaged part of the plane was behind them. The first officer, who was controlling the aircraft, sitting in the cockpit at that time, felt as if someone was pushing his head back, and then he looked back. Plane roof broken. Bridger took the pieces at random. They were roaming here and there, and when the captain of the plane looked back, the door of the plane was missing, and when he looked up, he could only see the blue sky. After this, the aircraft was tilting like a pendulum, once on the left and once on the right side, and due to so much disbalance, it was becoming very difficult to control the plane. At the same time, everyone in the plane put on their oxygen masks, and the captain tried his best to bring the plane under control and used the speed breakers present in the aircraft, so that it is easy to control the plane. At that time, the nearest airport to the plane was on the island. The most fortunate thing was that when this accident happened, all the passengers present in the plane were wearing their seat belts. Otherwise, as soon as the accident happens, all the people present in the plane fall down in the open sky. One of the 3 flight attendants present on the plane was standing right in front of the broken door and fell off the plane as the wind blew in. When all this was happening inside the plane, the pilots of the plane were trying to contact with the traffic control. The condition had become so bad that the pilots of the plane could not even hear each other's voice, and they were contacting each other through all. This happened because there was a very strong wind blowing inside the plane so that nothing could be heard. The pilots were not even able to know whether their radio signals were working or not, and whether their emergency suggestions were delivered to air traffic control or not. Even those people were not sure about this, and by the time the messages reached the traffic control, the plane was only 14,000 feet above the ground. As soon as the signals arrived, the Maui Airlines staff were fully preparing for an emergency landing, but the airport control was there and had no information that the aircraft would require medical attention, as the pilot of the plane said in a hurry. That due to air defense, there has been rapid decompression in the aircraft. But the captain did not have time to explain in details about the current condition of the plane. In no time, the plane had reached a height of 10,000 feet from the ground. Then the captain of the plane took off his oxygen mask and locked the speed brake. The plane was still in the sky and was rapidly moving towards Kahului Airport. Following the signal from the captain of the plane, the first officer lowered the landing gear. But the indicator of the landing gear was not turning on. Only two things could have happened from this: either that indicator light had gone bad, or there was a really big problem in the landing gear. This one problem was not less that another problem started. The left engine of the plane stopped working as soon as it came close to the runway. The captain tried hard to restart the lift engine, but it did not start. Despite so many troubles, the plane touched the runway of the airport at 1:58. Despite all these difficulties, it was really a dangerous task to get the plane to land in this way. To stop the plane, the other engine of the plane, which was still working, took the support of its opposite direction thrust. As soon as the plane stopped, the rescue team reached here for help. All the passengers present in the plane were saved alive. Except for one flight attendant, 65 of the remaining people who were close to the door of the aircraft were injured by the wreckage of the plane, and 8 of them were extremely injured and recovered after being given necessary treatment at the hospital. On the other hand, the plane was so badly damaged that it was completely impossible to get it repaired. That's why the aircraft was dismantled there. But the reason behind such a big accident was said to be the flight cycle of this plane. Means in a very short time the plane was doing excessive takeoff and landing. The reason behind this excessive time was expected to be continuous landing and takeoff on so many islands located at such a short distance, which was twice more than required. A passenger present on the flight said during the interview related to his flight experience that while getting up on the plane, he had noticed a small crack in the through cell of the aircraft today, but he did not find this damage as a serious issue, so he did not consider it as a serious issue. Because of informing some members, they thought it better to ignore it. Then the reason behind this accident seems to be the negligence of that passenger. Or is it the main reason for frequent flight landing and takeoff? Do tell your opinion by commenting below. Hope you will like and share this Global Facts videos. Thanks for watching, and never forget to subscribe our channel.